Are you awake yet?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. This is Reason with me. I have a really important message to get to you today. Before I get started, I just want to remind everybody to like and subscribe and comment down below. Check out the merch store. Follow me on Gab. All those links are going to be in the description below. With that being said, let's get started. I'm going to make this one quick. Just stick with me. Bear with me. The end is the most important part of the show today, and I really don't want you to miss it. First things first, so I was listening to a doctor speak yesterday, and he was talking about how the studies that were used for the FDA's rushed approval of the shot were actually Pfizer's clinical trial studies from back in 2020. But of course I'm a skeptic, so I decided to look it up for myself, and sure enough. So this is on FDA.gov, and we're at study C4591001. What we're looking at here is the FDA's summary basis for regulatory action, which is what they used to approve the Pfizer vaccine. So, this study is actually the Pfizer clinical study. It is. This is Pfizer's papers right here. This is their watermark and everything. Right here it says 95% confidence interval. And over here on the FDA's release, 95% confidence interval, which means it actually is the same study. They're using the same study. And technically, this study is still in progress. This study has not been concluded yet. So they're using the same study. They're saying that the shot has 95% efficacy, which we all know it doesn't. And they're basically using flawed studies to rush the approval of this vaccine. We know the efficacy is lower than 95%. All of the news stations have had to admit it by now. But apparently the FDA doesn't care about real science. This is a cause for concern. Now let's look at Pfizer's history of being deceitful and dishonest. Pfizer is dirty, man. This is from the New York Times. Experts conclude Pfizer manipulated studies, and we'll just go down to the second paragraph. Pfizer's tactics included delaying the publication of studies that had found no evidence the drug worked for some other disorders, spinning negative data to place it in a more positive light, and bundling negative findings with positive studies to neutralize the results, according to written reports by the experts who analyzed the documents at the request of the plaintiff's lawyers. The expert reports unsealed Monday in a federal court in Boston add to accusations that the pharmaceutical industry has controlled the flow of clinical research data, blurring the lines between science and marketing. And right here, this is from the NIH's website, and it's the first thing that pops up on Google when you Google Pfizer criminal history. Pfizer has been a habitual offender, persistently engaging in illegal and corrupt marketing practices, bribing physicians and suppressing adverse trial results. Since 2002, the company and its subsidiaries have been assessed $3 billion in criminal convictions, civil penalties, and jury awards. They've made quadruple that off of the vaccine already. $3 billion is nothing to them. So why would they care? Why would they care? That's all good and well, right? But what about the factories that are making these shots? This article is from WebMD. Pfizer's newest vaccine plant has persistent mold issues and history of recalls. This is from March 10th this year. Pfizer's management knew last year there was a mold issue at the Kansas facility, now slated to produce the drug maker's urgently needed COVID-19 vaccine, according to a Food and Drug Administration inspection report. The McPherson, Kansas facility, which FDA inspectors wrote is the nation's largest manufacturer of sterile injectable controlled substances, has a long, troubled history. Nearly a decade's worth of FDA inspection reports, recalls, and reprimands reviewed by KHN show the facility as a repeat offender. FDA investigators have repeatedly noted in reports that the plant has failed to control quality and contamination or fully investigate after production failures. That is disgusting. Look, I don't even eat at a restaurant if it has bugs in it. I don't want to get something shot into my body that was made in a factory that is covered in mold. That's disgusting. We're so close to the end, I promise you. So, what does the FDA say about reporting adverse reactions? All adverse reactions must be reported to VAERS. So, what did the FDA use to research the prevalence of side effects such as myocarditis? Oh, look, it's not VAERS, they used Optum. And they claim it's a more conservative approach, but if doctors are required to report to VAERS and they're not required to report to Optum, how could that be the truth? So the FDA says report all adverse reactions to VAERS. Then they ignore the data that they tell doctors to report to the database that they are told to report to? That's strange. Listen, the side effects are real and people are suffering from them all around the world, even as we speak. I could just go on with this forever. I've done countless hours of research. But for the sake of getting more eyes and ears on this video, I'm just going to skip to the reason why I made this video in the first place. Let's take a look at who these scientists are that did the research for the rushed and fraudulent FDA approval. This is the FDA's research team. You notice anything about the names? Any of these names? Do any of them look peculiar to you? How about right here? Any of these names in here look peculiar? Let's take a look at who some of these people are, okay? Especially the statistical side, because that's what we've been focusing on today, the statistics. The first one, let's look at this one right here. Okay? LinkedIn. This is Lee, Novartis, FDA. FDA, right? Where did Lee go to school? Bachelor's in Beijing. Let's take a look at another one. This one right here. Okay. Right here, LinkedIn. FDA. Where did she go to school? Got her bachelor's. East China University. Two more, okay? I could only find LinkedIn profiles with information on them for a few of these people. But on the clinical side here, we got this one, okay? We'll look for this one right here. Okay. FDA. Yeah. Got her bachelor's right here. Right here in Beijing is where she got her bachelor's. Okay. Last one. Before I click on it, let's highlight the name. It is Nicole Lee. Nicole Lee right here. Okay. Right here. It says Merck. It's the same person. Right here. Same school as the last one. Okay? In Beijing. And I just want you to go back and take a look at all these names. A lot of them are very secretive. It's very hard to find information on a lot of them. We're in deep shit. These are not Chinese dissidents. These are people that were indoctrinated and educated in China. They're all communists that live in the Washington, D.C. area. And these are just the ones that had LinkedIn profiles. I think you could make a safe bet that the majority of these people spent a significant portion of their life in China. How many white or black or Hispanic Americans do you think control Chinese medicine and work for the Chinese government? I would guess 0. They tell you to trust the science, but in order to do that, you have to be able to trust the scientists. Does being a scientist automatically exclude you from having the parasitic divergent mind virus? No, it exposes you to it. Screw the science. The science is flawed. The science is bogus, and it's been done by people that we can't trust. Instead, trust your gut, trust your intuition, and trust your ability to reason. Don't let them gaslight you into thinking that you're not a critical thinker because you're not a scientist or a doctor. The doctors are making a killing off of this too. Doctors get money for treating COVID patients, and they get money for giving the jab. How much do you think they get for using therapeutics that doctors all over the world are swearing by? 0. Zilch. Nada. Our society has been taken over by parasitic psychopaths. We've reached a crucial point in America. We have to be skeptical of everyone we trust, especially if they call themselves an expert. Be safe, be vigilant, but most importantly, be brave and be optimistic. The first thing we need to do to beat them is believe we can beat them. After that, all the other pieces will fall into place. Believe. Peace.